Yeah, Namaskar, Golak ji. Thanks for giving your valuable time.
Hi, good evening, good evening.
Uh, we all know about Passport Seva is today a very successful project in India. Even recently, Prime Minister has told about it, the success of the project. But the real hero, some of the real heroes behind the project, अगर हम लोग देखेंगे, then you are really a key person who are right from the beginning you have operated, and every day you are improving. So I want to briefly tell about your profile. We have here Golak Kumar Simli is an award-winning government technology thought leader whose contribution towards national e-governance plan of India during its inception, which is in year 2005 to 7, has been remarkable. His efforts towards digital transformation within public sectors and government departments have been immense. He is the architect of the Passport Seva program, delivering passport services to more than 90,000 citizens every day. The Passport Seva digital ecosystem comprises of the state-of-the-art technology, backbone, and connects to 37 passport offices, 93 Passport Seva Kendras, more than 430 post office Passport Seva Kendras across the country, and even 190 Indian embassies and consulate operating across the world. So he has been, Mr. Golakumar Simli has been guiding and contributing to use of emerging technology. And it is the world level technology, whatever is available, he could integrate that in the Passport Seva program. He has also developed and architected and implemented the cyber security and data and information security framework for the enterprise and government sectors. Currently, Golakumar is the principal advisor and chief technology officer. He is leading two flagship projects of MEA. One is Passport Seva version, earlier it was version 1 and now it is version 2 on e-passport. He commands a wide range of experience exceeding about 30 years in information communication technology, starting with private sector, public sector undertaking. He worked in Reserve Bank of India, HPCL, and for about more than 16 years within the central government itself. He has received 21 national and international accolades and accomplishments. It is all not surprise when we know closely about him. He worked in the government, industry, and media houses as digital and governance transformation thought leader. Some of the eminent awards won by him are National E-Governance Gold Award, Chief Information Officer Excellence Award in 2023 from the CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, Digital Icon Award from the Indian Express Group, Scotch Public Service Award, which says going beyond the call of duty. He got World CIO 200 awards for the transformative technology leader and for the title with the title of the legend from the Global CIO Forum Committee. He has got the award of Digital Excellence 2020 from APAC News Network. He got the CIO Power List 2020 and 2021 from Core Media Group. He got Data Quest Digital Warrior Award. He got an honorary award at the World CX Summit. Among his elite list, he has also presented with the appreciation certificate from the International Model United Nation. So proud of you, Golakji. And Golakji is also listed in the LinkedIn top voice in the category of data governance and technology management. Further, he has also written numerous articles and on usage of ICT in service delivery transformation at population scale, data and information security, best practices. Everything has got published in leading newspapers, magazines, and journals. And he also spoken at various national, international ICT events as a chief guest or keynote speaker, which is available in YouTube, Google search, LinkedIn. So, so happy for you and proud of you as a person knowing you from in this project, Golakji. Thanks for giving your time. I know how busy you are.
Thank you, Balaji, for such a generous introduction, I think. So
But I
thank
want to
you
know
so
more
much.
about you, like
Yeah.
your education, your background, and interests. Apart from all the things that you told, I want you to speak more about yourself.
Yeah, I think most of them you already covered, but to start with, if you ask my background at large, I grown up from a very remote village of the country. Probably what I can recall saying that the kind of remotest part where probably there was no electricity that point of time when I was growing up. Uh, Water we used to know kind of a flow from well, So there was no kind of a tap water and all. There was no road to the village. So that is the background. I mean, we have grown up. But I switched to city somewhere in my plus two. And then I think that is the journey. From there, I did my engineering from a premier institute in computer science, BIT Sindri, followed by I did my master degree in data science. And after that, I did a lot of certifications from MSBM London, IIM Ahmedabad. But the way I think, no, I approach learning or building yourself is you have to continuously improve. And as part of that, I am also currently pursuing my executive kind of a advanced business strategy from one of the top management institute in India, Accelerate, Jamshedpur. Having said that, Balaji, as I said, since we have grown up that kind of a remotest part of the country. So while I was growing up, I used to just think myself saying that, no, why is that so much of a difference exists between rural and urban? Why is that such access are not being provided at the remotest part of the country? And I think that is where it has stuck up on my back of mind saying that when I grow up, do something for myself, stand on your own feet, I must give back to the society, whatever way possible. And that is where I think I chose to remain in the country in spite of doing computer science engineering graduate from a premier institute. I could have landed in US, UK, settled there very beautifully, right? But then, as I said, I had my back of mind saying that if I have faced those hurdles, those problems, how do I give back to the society? How do we bridge such gaps? And what was the best possible way? You have to join part of the ecosystem, and then probably it's easier to give back. It's easier to understand the governance issues, the governance processes, bottlenecks, and then you can probably try to add value whatever way possible, and probably that is what we are doing, Balaji. So thank you.
Excellent. It's so inspiring. Now I could understand in a much deeper level about you because I know how I draw inspiration from you, like how every day you improve particular system. It's not easy. So now I could understand the foundational underpinning reasons for it when you said about your background. Now, Golak, coming to our discussion, in some part I was associated with Passport Office, worked as RPO, but I want to know more about it so that people like me or people like you who are working in some project who want to do initiate certain e-governance project, they may be having some difficulties. So this entire session is to make it useful for them. So now to start with, how do you think our government is leveraging power of digital technology to empower common man or in the rural area? What is your idea, observation?
No, absolutely. I think even before we go to Passport Seva, since you are also part of the Passport Seva journey during those initial days, so we'll definitely talk about Passport Seva. But even before that, as you rightly said, how is government at large leveraging technology, leveraging digital for larger public good, right? And when I say larger public good, Balaji, for us, the biggest challenge is all of us. No, the biggest challenge is the scale. How do you deal with such a scale? We are talking about 1.4 billion people, or even more than 1.4 billion of people, right?
Mm.
And when you are talking about that scale at large, the other challenge is the kind of variations we have. When I say variations in terms of demography, geography, literacy, rural and urban divide, economic conditions. No, there are a lot of variations. So imagine you have to deal with a scale more than 1.4 billion,
Yes.
having so much of a variations,
Mm.
right? How do you do that? Manually, otherwise it is absolutely impossible, which I say. And
Mm,
I think that is where government at large, what now the way forward we have realized is technology is the best way. Digital is the best way to reach to the farthest and remotest part of the country in a fastest way,
mm,
right? Also, when you are trying to reach those people at the farthest and remotest part of the country, another good part of the technology and digital is it helps you the way you want to interact with them, the way they understand your language, right? The way, you know, all those barriers, as I said, whether it is a demography barrier, geography barrier, literacy conditions, technology has all those means to address for, right? And that is where the power of digital government of India is leveraging.
mm, mm,
The second very important part of that when we are leveraging technology,
mm,
the another concerns what we all had is how do you create a process of equal kind of access to all, right? How do you create a system or a mechanism where there is a transparency, where there is a accountability, which you can measure, which you can monitor, right? And also, how do you omit or kind of a takeaway, which I call black boxes? There
mm,
are a lot of black boxes, no? You do not know where it is pending, why is it pending, how long it is pending, what is the reason it is pending, who is keeping it pending so long,
mm,
right? And
mm.
how do you address this? Again, technology is the only way,
True.
right? That is the another thing government is doing maximum. And if I can cite example, government at large, whether it is a passport seva, whether it is a GST as an example, whether it is a GEM portal, whether it is DigiLocker, whether it is UPI as a platform, just imagine who has thought a
Mm,
rickshaw puller or a sabji wala,
mm,
जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना सब्जी बेचता है,
mm,
they will have power of such technology, right? Today, if you ask a sabji vendor or sabji wala, he'll say, sir, I don't accept cash. Pay me through Paytm or
mm,
pay me through Phone Pay.
mm,
They don't accept cash, right?
mm,
So how is that revolution has happened, whether it is in terms of
mm,
financial inclusion or in terms of empowering people at the remotest part? Because government has made technology so simple, so seamless.
mm,
And that is how the power of technology is. Technology you have to make so simple, so seamless for a common man so that they understand in their own language, so
mm,
that they communicate to you the way they want to communicate, not the other way you want to communicate with them, right? And
mm.
that is what probably overall, if you ask me, government of India at large, we are doing
Good.
or is doing.
A very, very optimistic start. It gives me lots of positive thinking when you started like this. Now coming to Passport Seva, Tulsi, I am requesting you to start from the beginning. There are many projects in Digital India, National E-Governance Plan, they came. At the state level, also many projects come. But this Passport Seva, what are the secret of the success? Who started it? First of all, I want to know who are the key drivers and champions who started it way back from, you remember 2008. Can you narrate some of your experience, observation, and who are the people who pushed this project?
No, good that you kind of raised this question, Balaji, because as you said, Passport Seva was one of them. Um, but if you ask me the background, where is it started, how is it started? I think the journey started way back in 2005, 6, not even 5, 6, rather 4, 6.
Okay.
That point of time, I was with Reserve Bank of India,
Mm-hmm.
right? Suddenly, and that was another story, sometime we'll speak, but I have been pulled back from Reserve Bank and put into this NEGP team, National E-Governance Plan team, right? And that is the time, we were conceptualizing something called National E-Governance Plan,
Mm.
right? And National E-Governance Plan had two, three visions. One is how do you create a digital infrastructure, connectivity infrastructure across the country. That was the first motto of the National E-Governance Plan. The second is once you start a highway, there has to be some car to run in the highway, right? There has to be some application. So the second important part of the NEGP plan was how do you create applications? Applications which are transformative. And
Mm.
that is the name we have given mission mode project. And fortunately, Passport Seva was one of the mission mode project
Okay.
of NEGP plan, right?
Mm.
And the third thing, it was thought through saying that, okay, you have connectivity, you have applications. Where do you keep this data? Where do you keep the information? And that is the time we came with another concept in NEGP, something called state data center. So every state will have data centers. And
Mm.
then we had 4 national data centers,
Mm.
right? So that is the way you keep, store, harness the data with a secure and seamless manner, right?
Mm.
Then, okay, we realize that, okay, fine. Now you have data center, you have access channel network, you have application as mission mode project. So as part of mission mode project, Passport Seva, banking, insurance, there are plethora of mission mode projects were identified. And then we thought, okay, all is fine, but how do you deliver Balaji where Balaji is staying at the remotest part of the country? How do you reach Balaji? Connectivity was going up to district level that point of time. Let me remind you.
Mm.
Beyond district, there was no connectivity. Even BSNL kind of a agency that point of time,
Mm.
they were finding hard to reach up to the block level. So here is the question of reaching up to the village level,
Yeah.
right?
2005, 6.
Yes.
Mm.
So then we thought, yeah, no, nothing doing. If we have to touch to the common man, let's create something, some new unique innovation. And that is the time in the NEGP we thought through something called Common Service Center,
Okay.
right? CS.
Mm.
And that point of time, if I remember correctly, around 42 to 45,000 common service were created across various remotest part of the country.
Mm.
And there, that means a villager, a farmer, a laborer, a illiterate person, a senior citizen can visit to that common service center to access the government services, especially the government service, right? So if you ask me who started, so there was a team that point of time government formed saying that no, if we have to move towards governance improvement, governance transformation, governance excellence, we ought to have this digital infrastructure first in the country.
Mm.
Else, we are not moving forward.
Okay.
And that team, there is a team of bureaucrats. Some of us we are picked up as a domain expert, IT expert from, as I said, I was picked up from Reserve Bank. I was handling in Reserve Bank itself something called Indian Financial Network, a core banking application that point of time. So I had a fair idea about network connectivity applications. So there was a team created, bureaucrats, technical experts, domain experts, and they were in a way given this task to kind of a unveil e-governance across the country. And
Okay.
that is the start of the Passport Seva, where it started.
Mm.
Now let me come to saying that why then, you may ask your second question, why then Passport Seva becomes so unique
Mm.
in
Mm.
terms of success story. Otherwise, there are many, but why Passport Seva is one of best success story. It has its own distinction in terms of service excellence. You can ask that,
Yeah.
right? Probably that is the question it might be pondering with you,
Mm. Mm.
which you are also part of that journey because. So Passport Seva as a RFP was written during that point of time itself. That is, RFP started around 2007, right? And the award was contracted somewhere in 2008. That point of time when the RFP was written, I was part of the Ministry of IT. So the RFP came to us for review.
Okay.
What has been written, how it has been written, what are the things missing in terms of process, in terms of technology, in terms of governance, right? In terms of business model.
Okay.
And then when this RFP was floated, no kind of a system integrator was selected, a PPP partner was selected, then I was moved to kind of as a CTO to this project,
Okay.
right? And you remember, Balaji, because you are part of this journey, when we started this program, 2, 3, I'll say, very specific and unique innovation which had happened in the Passport Seva.
Okay.
The first and foremost thing is how do you engage industry in this transformation process, right? That was the first innovation in Passport Seva, especially in the service sector. Especially in the service sector. And if I remember correctly, because I was part of the conceptualize of e-governance at large in the country. So the first project, what was taken as part of this sort of a transformation, leveraging technology, leveraging industry, was the MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But for say, Ministry of Corporate Affairs was targeting a section of people, no? Kind of a who is uh, registering a company or board of directors, something kind of that. That was not touching the common mass. Passport Seva was the second only project which started touching the common mass. Though MCA was the first success story of the NEGP, as I said, that has a limited scope.
Okay.
Passport Seva has a bigger scope in terms of common people like you and me. Let's say a student from a village started to go abroad, do a study, or let's say I am going for a medical treatment outside or going for a leisure trip, right? Business purpose. Passport was the only document which was touching to the common man. So as I said, the first unique innovation, which is one of the major reason of this success factor, is how do you engage industry
Okay.
as part of the transformation process. The second biggest factor of this success story is even if you have engaged industry, is that are you following the same traditional model which used to happen before NEGP? And what is those traditional model? You ask something at the end of the year, you ask some budget from government, right? For no this kind of a project, for manpower, technology, for operations, no, all of those things. So this was all budgeted model which you used to say, right?
Okay.
Passport Seva, we thought no, these budgeted model are not working, and how long government will keep on investing on that program? You have to today or tomorrow become self-sustainable, right? And that is why, as part of second innovation of the Passport Seva, we said nothing doing. Let's forget about those traditional model, budgeted model, innovate a business model. So the second biggest factor of this success story is there is a innovation of business model where we said the money which I'll earn from this program, in a way, as part of business model, I'll build that quote or that charge which service provider will quote as part of the bidding process. is part of that business model which will run my entire ecosystem, Passport Seva ecosystem. So, for an example, today, let's say there is a passport fee of whatever, 1500 odd for normal passport.
mm,
We said no. If there is a 1500 I am charging, there should be a component of fee,
mm,
which is a service charge,
mm,
right? Which I'll charge from the citizen,
mm,
and I'll give it such facilities, amenities, convenience, no, drinking water, clean toilet, somebody there to interact with you, right?
mm,
All those things I will make part of the business model. So that means if you recall, whatever fee that means we collect, there is a component, something called service component.
mm,
And this service is nothing but the excellence in everything. Excellence in service delivery, excellence in creation of the infrastructure, excellence in running operations, excellence in creating those IT and non-IT resources, right?
mm,
So that service charge has become part of business model, and beauty of such business model is which help you not to depend on kind of a budgeted money,
mm,
because citizen is ready to pay Balaji. You know, the main problem is, let me quote another example so that people can connect who is listening to us.
mm,
Assume that a passport seeker or a citizen, he has to travel, let's say 300 kilometer 3 to 4 times. How much expense he will do?
mm,
Now just reverse this. Now just reverse it. I'll say no. You have to just visit one time and nothing doing. Your everything will be done. You don't have to call here and there. You don't have to go to some travel agent, this and that. Otherwise, I as a citizen, other than passport's fee of let's say 1000 rupees, I would spend another 1000 to 2000 by traveling 4 times to office,
mm,
by no here and there approaching and this and that. I would be happy to give Balaji 100 more than spending 1000 extra, right?
mm.
As a citizen. So that is what the understanding is all about for all the government project which we are discussing. Build a component of fee you can happily charge to the citizen itself, the service seeker, right? And
Mm,
the service seeker will happily pay you that additional amount of fee,
mm,
provided you are able to kind of a save not only his or her
mm,
effort, cost, difficulties,
mm.
which if you ask in terms of a cost, it multiply 3 to 4 times extra for the citizens,
True.
right?
Mm,
So that is what we thought. Let us build a component of service charge. We can build part of this service delivery model
mm,
where I as a service seeker will happily pay that. In any case, I'll pay otherwise 4 times or 3 times
mm,
higher.
mm,
So that is the second thing. But
mm,
then we thought, okay, fine. Service model is fine. Business model is fine. Engaging industry is fine. But then government, no, we have passport kind of a data information where there is something we call sovereignty involved in it,
mm,
criticality involved in it, right?
mm.
The other biggest success story of the Passport Seva, the third point is, when we are devising this business model, we are very careful that the sovereign functions, the
Mm.
sovereign data, the sovereign information, that will continue to remain with the government,
Okay. Mm,
right?
mm,
However, all non-sovereign functions,
mm,
including making of those PSKs, running it, operating it, whatever expense it is coming, right? It should be done by the industry partner.
Okay.
Why is that I should put government resources which otherwise I can put for a much more productivity work?
Okay.
Why should I put a government resources to scan a document or do the data entry? What is big deal in that? And you
Mm,
remember that is what we did.
mm,
When we started this business model, we segregated the functions, something called sovereign and non-sovereign. We segregated the operations, something called critical and non-critical. We also segregated which people generally miss, Balaji.
mm,
When I say segregated the functions, segregated the operations, segregated the data,
mm,
ultimately, when I'm going in a technology way, right? When I'm driving it in a digital way, I must design, I must conceptualize even the applications or the data center or the network in all sense, in terms of all controls. One side, you and me or user is a no kind of a officer, they will only understand what they will access. But our job in the government is to see that how do I design, build that application, data center network, which ensures this kind of a sovereignty, integrity, controls back to you, back to the government,
true.
right? And that is why
Mm,
from day one, right,
mm,
day one of the program, when I said all non-sovereign functions, mean, as I said, so from day one, all operations built, all those non-sovereign function is with the with the private partner. However, from day one, owning it, management control and regulation is within the government as far as Passport Seva is concerned.
mm, mm.
That was the third factor which made it a success.
Okay.
The fourth and last is the governance. You
Mm,
know, the governance, the team who is driving, probably which many of us, many of the project, we miss that. And that's become a truth of, I'll say, failure or whatever you name it, right?
mm,
And this governance is nothing but you have to create an institutional mechanism. You don't need many, right? For an example, in Passport Seva, we have engaged a manpower from industry side almost in a tune of 4,000, right?
mm. Yeah. Mm, mm,
Our the government officers who are doing those sovereign functions, how many? Can you imagine? Not even half, even less than half of the person we have engaged from
comment.
private.
Mm,
And
mm,
then I have my own core technical team of around 20 persons.
mm,
This is the governance structure, a institutional mechanism which is driving the entire program,
mm,
right? So that is the way we are driving this entire program. And the beauty what you get at the end of the day when you innovate this kind of a business model,
mm,
which you understand, because you are also part of the system, Balaji, saying that for all time to come. So the problem we do is many a time I have seen we start a program with a very big bang approach.
mm,
But after 1 year or 2 year, once the champion leave the program, that
mm.
champion was driving, the program by itself dies down, right? The
That's,
project by itself died down. Why so? Because you have missed all those things which we spoke just a while before.
mm, mm.
And
Yeah.
that is why, after having all those things, a governance, a institutional mechanism is very much important. And this institutional mechanism will no kind of a live forever,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
So that is the way we have conceptualized. I find that is the way one should think of a large program, how it should work. how it should be designed, how it should be conceptualized, how it should be executed, how it should be operationalized, right? The another beauty, I think probably we'll miss otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
saying that another beauty of this sustainability, there is something called a word we call sustainable. We must be sustainable. Sustainable, when I say in all sense, in terms of financial, in terms of operation, in terms of service quality and service assurance, and also in terms of always like how do you improve on the journey,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
What do you do? How do you improve? You cannot be a standstill. Okay, I have delivered this much. Now it is over. No,
Mm.
correct?
Mm.
That is the
Very
way we are. Yeah.
excellent. It gave an excellent overall view of the secrets, technical secrets. But one thing I'm very clear is about the innovative business solution your team has done. The PPP model involving the
Yeah.
private partner, getting the technology from the market, technology, even people from the market, and utilizing for government without compromising the sovereign functions. Yeah, it will be very useful information for anybody who wants to devise a problem-solving project for the government. Excellent. Now, Golakji, I would request you to please remember in the initial days, like you said, a team was formed with bureaucrats, with technical officers, and all. Like, who did this? Please remember the names as much as possible. Who are the people behind it?
No,
Because
see,
many
it was
maybe
always a
from political side, from technical side, bureaucrat side, from different offices, MEA. Please imagine and tell me, recall and tell me who are the key people who
yeah,
pushed
if
it.
I recall that point of time, any GP at large, if you ask me, that point of time, I think uh, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was the or Honorable Prime Minister, and they had that point of time no kind of a saw saying that why is that government services no kind of a we cannot create such kind of a transparency, accountability, whatever you name it, the seamless experience for the citizens, so and so forth. And that point of time, I remember, if I remember correctly, the team which no visited Reserve Bank for studying the Indian financial network and the core banking applications. Um, uh, Dr. R. Chandrasekhar was the IAS officer that point of time. Sir was that point of time Joint Secretary in the Ministry of IT.
Okay.
Uh, Sri J. Satyanarayana sir, another IAS officer who was CEO NISG that point of time. And I mean, these were the team who actually championed, I'll say. And
Wonderful.
we were kind of a, had no clue when I joined NEGP team. I had no clue absolutely. Saying that what is this NEGP is all about? What is that we are going to do? Because it was a complete greenfield kind of initiative, you know, Vibha? But then once we became part of that team, we realized that, oh, absolutely, this is something. Wow.
Yeah,
How
there is
can
no
one
model
think
before that. There
so
is no
big,
template at all before this.
so big, something, no, for the entire country, something, which can change the face and with the intervention of technology, by leveraging technology, right?
Mm.
And as I said, and from there on, as I was telling you, we are discussing the concept came. How do you build this kind of a IT infrastructure across the country? Data center, mission mode project, common service center. All those things were conceptualized that point of time. But I must tell Balaji, I think. Uh, those were the journey started. But after this 2014, when the new government has came into pace,
Mm.
um, I think digital has got a kind of a wow time of a push.
Okay.
This government has no kind of a exceptional way of using the power of digital.
Mm,
Also, as I was discussing, how do you leverage digital for common man?
mm,
How do you reach to common man? How do you empower
mm,
common mass? How do you make them inclusive part of the society?
mm,
How do you bridge those gaps in terms of, let's say, literacy, illiteracy, rural urban divide,
mm,
correct?
yeah.
Economic conditions,
Mm,
and then make them part of the development goal of the nation. Today, we are talking about, let's say, $1 trillion of digital economy by 26-27.
mm,
Today, we are talking about $5 trillion of overall economy by 2030. These vision were came after this new government came in place, and the good part is we are now achieving one by one. And these achievements, these success stories, citing example for the global good, right?
mm,
Never before any country have realized that we could have no Aadhaar kind of a platform which will have more than 1.3 billion or 3.5 billion people have their biometric data, demographic data. Never before one could realize that Passport Seva, not only in the country, but it can go global. Now I'm all my global embassies. So a diaspora, not only in Indian citizen, but you as a diaspora, no, my Indian diaspora living across the globe, they have the same experience,
mm. Excellent.
right?
Excellent.
Yeah, nobody realized that no, the UPI kind of a platform will change the face of the way financial inclusion is happening in the country.
Mm, mm. Yeah. I have now another question. You have very nicely put up some of the key people behind. Since
Yeah.
now I am studying about, I want to know about governance. Uh, Now the next question arises. Sorry if this is not, I don't know if this is the right question to ask. There are so many problems in the country. For example, you should improve on election system. It can be like even e-voting. Anything can be possible. There are so many issues. There are issues of corruption. There may be issues of so many poverty related issues. Why this team as why did they focus on passport? What were the driving factors that would have happened 2004, 5, 6 or 8? Make it, they wanted to take a passport या इसको totally transform करना है with the innovative business model. ये क्यों हुआ होगा? I know it's tough for you. Maybe you can think like what were the push factors for those team of people? Chandrasekhar Saab.
I'll put little differently, Balaji, saying that as I was rightly saying, after this 2014,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the kind of vision our honorable Prime Minister has or have or the kind of vision the government at large have, right? Now all these what we are saying, whether it is Passport Seva, whether it is GST, whether it is income tax, whether it is driving license, whether it is GEM portal, DigiLocker, there are plethora UPI, plethora of example to cite for.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the biggest part, as I said, the vision of this government or mission of this government is when we are discussing about all those things, uh, the idea is don't look problem as a problem, look problem as an opportunity.
Yeah,
How do
absolutely.
you convert that problem into opportunity? And while converting that problem into opportunity, what are the ways and means available? And definitely, digital technology is the one of the best means available for you,
Mm,
right?
mm, mm,
As we are discussing, creating a business model, innovating a business model is the best way possible.
mm,
As we are discussing, uh, within the same resource of the government,
mm.
transformation is possible, right? Change is possible. But
Absolutely.
then you have to kind of innovate, come out of that no mindset, come out of that thinking process, go out of the box,
mm,
expand yourself.
mm,
And that is what we did in Passport Seva. Passport Seva, what is different so about it? It's just that we have come out of those 5 dots.
mm,
And if you expand yourself, come out of those 5 dots, I don't think, if you ask my personal experience, government do not have such issues in terms of or in the government department.
mm,
But then, as I said, someone has to drive through. The champion sitting in the department, the leadership sitting there.
mm,
If I have thought, I have ways and means available. If I have a mission, if I have a vision, I have ways and means available from various stakeholders, including the industry, right? But crux is you as a no, yeah, if I am sitting in a department or in any project as a leader, that thought should come from inside. That changing the paradigm, the face of that problem should come from inside. Nobody, let me tell you, Balaji, nobody, no consultant, no private partner understand your problem. Your problem is your problem. They are there to help you. They are there to support you.
yeah,
But you have to take the lead from the front.
got it. Got it. The government should
And
have
that
that
is
will
how it should be.
to transform. Then it's all
You
very.
have to own it. You have to own it.
Mm,
You have to drive it from the front, right?
mm,
Others are there, stakeholders are there, technology partner is there, industry partner is there, but
mm,
they are your support system.
mm. Now here, if I'm a common man, I will ask this thing to you. The prelude is after working as a passport officer in Trichy and Chennai, I thought, okay, kaise tha in 2010, how a long queue of 2,000 people used to come. We have enough excuse saying that we have only 40, 50 people, 60 people, we can't manage. And that was enough excuse to tell the public that why the situation was that. But now,
In fact,
using
I
technology,
was about to
yeah,
ask you, Balaji, that question. Let me have a
no,
privilege
let
of
me,
asking.
sorry, let me finish this. I'm coming
Yeah.
back to another question with you. Coming back for another. Now, this transformation is possible, and we have done it with technology, with the will of the government. This has been done. There are similar issues for a common man, for having born in a rural area, similar issues like in the police, in the court, where the public interface is more. I used to think that if these problems are solved, then even I used to think that our country will become a developed country. In fact, इसको समझने के लिए I went out for studies and all. Okay, how these developed countries have become developed, what is the change management they would have done, how to become a developed country, all these things. But now coming to the question, passport is become a very unique example. This transformation which they have been trying in court or passport, say for example in court they are trying e-court system, but still so many cases are pending. That not much could be done. In the police, they are trying the CCTNS, crime and criminal tracking network system. They've been trying. I'm not saying negative. They are in many states like Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat. Some states are doing very good, but not across the country. So, what is the problem in other e-governance project? I want you please open up and tell me with respect, not with respect to just technology or just as a patriotic Indian. What do you think? What are the
No,
issues in other massive e-governance project?
I think you're right. You are right saying that I do agree some of these programs, some of these, I'll say areas, we need to create that pace, which no, we all agree. And that is where I think the current government is focusing for. But at the same time, as I said, I think, you know, what I feel, if you ask my own personal experience and learnings, see, government at large will provide you support, right? let's say political support, legal support, all other support. But we as a citizen, or let's say we as a officer, or whosoever is there at that point of time in those projects, program, you named it, whether it is policing, e-justice, e-court, so and so forth, CCTNS, so and so forth. I personally believe what we discussed just before a while, I think the one has to look in a holistic way. Take a holistic approach. It can't be, it never be, I'll say. Don't have a shortcut saying that, okay, I've done something, saw it to my bosses and over. No, don't take a shortcut, please. Take much more time at the initiation planning phase. Take one month extra, take 2 months extra, take 3 months extra, but do a holistic study. Try to understand the problem holistically. Unless you identify your problem correctly, unless you identify all the dependencies of the problem correctly, not only within your own department, you realize being a passport officer, when you are changing the face of passport services, we not only transform the processes and other bottlenecks within the ministry, but also we change the dependencies, whether it is a police verification process, whether it is a department of post, whether it is a India security press Nasi. You remember those days, right? So the idea is, again, no, the crux of the issue is, or the crux of the success story is, all of these programs, whatever we are discussing, take a holistic approach. Holistic approach in terms of not only within you, but also your dependencies. Holistic approach in terms of, as I said, resources you need, manpower you need, training and capacity building you need, the change management you need. You remember, I think our own CPO employees, they took almost 1.5 years
Yeah,
to onboard.
yeah.
You remember,
The
right?
strike, there used to be
But
strike.
then today, the same are, we call them a digital warrior. If I say today,
Mm.
okay, gentlemen, I shut down the system for 5 minutes. Can you go back and work on the old paper file, on the pen and paper? I'm telling they'll give up. They'll say, no, no, I can't work without the system. How is that change has happened? Same person, right?
Mm.
So
Now, mm,
I'm saying take a holistic approach, whether it is a business model, whether it is a industry engagement, whether it is your dependencies, whether the training and capacity building, whether it is change management. If you just touch two, three corner, another five corners you leave it, how
yeah,
is that you think that change will come? How is that success will come? How is that success story, even if it comes, it will sustain over a time?
very true. Now, why is that not happening in the matter of, say, for example, court? You know, the pendency and
Again, as
issues.
I said, these are the gaps. One is to just say, as simple as that.
Why
If
Digital
you
India program or in the MA, in the Information Technology Ministry, they are not able to handle this.
no,
What are the
I'll not
issues, you think?
say it's
It's
not
a political
happening.
issue or a technical
No,
issue
not
or
at all.
bureaucratic
No,
issue?
no, no. It's not at all a political issue or anything kind of that. As I said, the person who is sitting at that desk, the department who is heading that,
Mm,
it should be your pride, right? It should be my pride if I'm sitting somewhere. Agree?
true, true. I got it.
So if I have to change that, I have to do that, as I said. But maybe what I personally find sometime the understanding or such experience might be missing. Could be one of the reason. I agree. And these are the probably what we are discussing may help those government department.
Absolutely. And Passport Seva is a wonderful template. We can now solve any problem in our country for
Correct.
public service delivery, provided there is a will, provided, as you rightly told,
Absolutely. Yeah.
political will and bureaucratic will. If it is there, it is
That
now
has
this
to be
model is
there.
enough.
Yes.
Tell
And
to
I
people.
don't
Yeah.
think no the kind of the vision we have, our honorable Prime Minister, they have the kind of no the power of digitals. You understand like no much more than us. So if you have a such pro government, such no positive environment, why can't you deliver? I don't understand. It's
So
as
based on
simple as that.
nice theology. Based on what you have told, you quoted good examples like GST, Aadhaar. So can we say like we are not criticizing anybody? It's an open discussion. Can we say that central government projects has an advantage, central subject project, because they can do it at a top down across the country massively. They can do it within 1 or 2 years, which probably for state government it takes time because they have to. There is heterogeneity among the states. For example, police and all, they have their own laws. And do you agree with this as an issue?
Oh, I am sure. I am sure. As far as if you talk about the central line ministry, because as you rightly said, you can drive centrally, right?
Mm,
You have much more visibility in terms of driving it, in terms of manning it, in terms of managing it. However, when you go back to the no, the quasi-federal structure, what we have
mm,
at a state level,
mm.
one is I personally feel at a state level, one is addressing those concerns, gaps, barriers. Um, as we are discussing, they don't take that kind of a holistic approach. Many states are doing wonder, no issue. I mean, no doubt in that. But could have been much more kind of a pace we could have brought in, provided we used to and we learned replicating these best practices even at the state level,
One thing I
right?
remember, Golakji, when you say about this, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
Regarding police verification, that is the other side of the issuing passport. You would have faced certain success in integrating data and making it that also like passport, transforming it. How far you could you succeed, or how far? What were the problems in? I'm saying a little bit of background. Even the prime minister recently said in a meeting in a big hall, he said he applauded Passport Seva, wherein
Hmm.
he also said we used to police को कुछ पहले कुछ देता था
Yeah.
type. Uh, but even it's not like it's not happening now. Even after Passport Seva, it is happening. If it is not, I'm sorry if I'm not aware. You have to
Yeah.
correct me. Then how to rectify it without giving that money to the person or without involving human being? How to make it
Yeah. No, no, again,
e-governance
I
way,
think you
and
have asked,
what are the hurdles in it? And you
no,
have
no,
tried
you
so
have
long.
asked,
I know you have been trying this for last 10 years. I attended meeting
uh-huh.
with you
No, no, no,
in
you are
the
absolutely
with
right.
BGP Tamil Nadu and
Absolutely
all.
right.
So
See, the solution where it lies. The solution lies, remove those intervention, I'll say. Remove those manual interfaces, maximum possible. I'll not be say 100%, but maximum possible.
mhm,
Make it traceable, make it that data point visible to everyone.
mhm.
This is a very important point I'm trying to tell.
Yeah, please.
Let me quote an example. What we have done today, almost across the country, now at your time, you remember we had reached up to the district level, police verification.
Mhm,
Today, every state they are using tab at a Thana level.
mhm, mhm.
That means
Yeah, we started in
what,
2015. I remember. Yeah.
yeah. So what I'm trying to say, that data point, that means right at the moment the field level officer, police officer capture that police verification report,
Mhm,
that data point is available to me, to my management, to their management, their senior hierarchy. Okay, this is the time this field officer has gone and collected, verified this data. It is available. Who everyone can access, click of a button, right?
yeah.
And from there on, let's say today I have captured the data at your residence as part of police verification as a field verification officer. I also know as part of data point saying that who had gone to verify that police verification, at
Mhm,
what time he had gone,
mhm.
right? And if he has verified at this point of time, I have provided him a tab, right? So
Mm.
data is already available. So he will upload there and there. It will come to the verification officer at the Thana level. Let's say now verification officer is keeping pending for 2 days. The senior officer already knows that the field verification officer did 2 days before. Why this chap is keeping pending for 2 days?
We can monitor. Oh.
So the data point, you make it more and more visible, traceable at every desk,
Mm.
including the senior hierarchy,
Mm.
including the on the workflow, whosoever is doing that job.
Mm.
There is no way you can hold that. There is no way, I am telling you. If you are holding, you are getting accountable in the system itself. And this is another, I speak everywhere saying that makes those data has a lot of power, data has lot of power. Make data more and more powerful, make those data points so transparent, so visible. Then even if I want to hide something, I will not be able to hide. Today, the another beauty is the moment you upload the police report at the Thana level,
Mm.
it is not only visible to me or the police hierarchy, but also it is visible to you as a citizen. You as a citizen, you know that this particular officer in Thana has been uploaded my report. If he has uploaded the report, then why is it pending for another 10 days? So
The
that is
citizen can
what we
monitor.
did. That is
Excellent.
what we did. We only not empowered ourselves or the stakeholders, but also we empowered citizens. Citizen can question you, saying that why, what are you doing? आप कर क्या रहे हो? आपका मेरा रिपोर्ट तो इस दिन अपलोड हो गया था.
Mm. That's a wonderful thing that you are giving this information to citizens. They will know where to go, where to approach.
Yes.
That's excellent.
So you cannot hold back.
Police
Simple.
verification now generally I'll ask for the residence verification and the crime record, the criminal record. If the CCTNS record is available and if it is
Yes, I
integrated,
agree. I agree. I
I think half of the
agree.
problem can be solved. At
No,
least
no,
the crime
this
record.
really, these are going to see. That is what I am saying. Now
Okay.
we'll be leveraging lot of power of emerging technology, lot of, as you are giving example, hitting into various government databases.
Mm, mm,
And probably there will be a time, let's say in reissue cases,
mm,
we may not even require to call the citizen. Why do we call? I
mm.
already have all the data, right?
Okay.
In many cases, as you rightly said, you remember something called police clearance certificate. You remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, in police clearance certificate, I can take everything online itself. Why do you even visit to the Passport Seva Kendra?
Mm, mm.
You already have passport, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The passport holder will only get the PCC. So
Mm,
if that's the case, why should I again call you for PCC? I can simply collect your photograph online
mm,
at home only.
mm,
And now since I have started biometric matching, I can match and see that, okay, this is Balaji or somebody else is asking.
mm, mm.
So this power of technology, the various database, integration of database will much more help us to improve the citizen experience, go to a next level of citizen experience. Even
What
I'll
is the
be now,
status? What is the status, Golagi? Sorry, I'm interrupting. In that, because now for the citizen, now the worry is about the police verification and
yeah,
tracking. Tracking things you have done, but getting the data from the police department, what is the
no,
status?
no delay now, no delay. On an average now 5 to 6 days, police verification.
No, I'm asking about the criminal data. I mean, crime and criminal tracking network system. If they
State level, see what we have done. I think they are themselves verifying. We just trigger to the police authorities as part of CCTNS verification. Every state, I believe they have access to CCTNS database. To us, they completely give either it is clear, not clear after all those verifications, right?
is there any
So
plan that
CCTV,
the data automatically speaks and verifies if they have a criminal? Like,
yeah,
why?
that is also possible. That is also possible, I am saying. But what it should and how it should work, once these databases are fully kind of integrated, up to date, real time update is happening.
Ah,
Many of these, as I said, a manual verification, going and verifying at residences, all those things may not be even required, I'm telling.
that is what I want to know. Like in
Yeah,
that way,
yeah, but
do you have a plan in that way? In that line,
yeah,
something
yes,
is going.
absolutely, absolutely. But as I said, every system, every kind of a process transformation, if I'm taking a step, I have to also ensure that that process, that transformation, that verification, that accountability is foolproof,
Mm,
right? So one has to be also guarded when I'm enabling technology or kind of a any kind of a leveraging technology, power of data. I have to be also guarded, saying that I must not go wrong in that process. So before enabling, one has to be doubly sure,
mm.
saying that whatever I'm doing is perfect, 100% foolproof. The second thing is, as I was discussing, now I'll be leveraging more and more power of AI. I'll
Okay.
predict anything. I'll predict many things before
It's
the
wonderful.
problem comes,
Wonderful.
right?
For example.
I'll give you as a citizen lot of your queries to be resolved in the portal itself through a bot,
Mm.
and bot will be powered by my AI. So all
Okay.
the intelligence I'll through the AI to the bot, and bot will be giving response to you
Mm.
either through the voice bot or through the chat bot.
Okay.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Similarly, I'll do lot of I'll say help for my own government officers while they are taking decisions in terms of verification and granting,
Mm.
because a lot of intelligence I can drag in or extract from my data, available data, saying that, okay, here you are going wrong or here you are going right. Right?
Okay.
I can do lot of resource, I can say um, uh, management in terms of where do I need additional resource, where the resources are extra, not only in terms of manpower resource, but also in terms of other IT and non-IT resources.
Okay.
Correct.
Mm.
So
Mm.
these things we'll all realize. But let me, I think
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot to ask
Mm.
you that question, saying that
Yeah. Mm.
you might have realized, Balaji, since we are having a very freewheeling kind of a chat,
Mm.
when we are starting this Passport Seva, and you being one of the, I'll say, champion at the field, because I remember pilot we have started at your location,
Mm.
Trichy,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Just started implementing from there.
And since we are trying to convey a message here, saying that how do you come out of such field level issues? Can you please elaborate what kind of field level issues you faced in terms of taking the employees on board, in terms of getting them into this kind of a digital ecosystem,
Mm.
in terms of addressing those teething challenges, because that point of time there are a lot of teething challenges when you started, right? But you have very smoothly handled the citizen front also, no?
Mm. Mm.
Media, citizen front. How have you done that? Because this is also very important. One is the change maker, the
Mm.
leaders who are operating at the field. And as we are giving example, you are the leader at the field that point of time.
Mm.
So how do you have handled such so that the overall success is not a person of one person, let me tell you, whether I talk about myself or anyone, it's a teamwork. And Passport Seva, the another success story is team, as a entire PSP team, Passport Seva team,
Mm.
it did wonder. It performed extraordinary.
Really, really true. Really true.
Correct?
Mm.
So what is your take on that?
Uh, Thank you. Actually, at your level, you have faced challenges across the country. I know we used to drag you to different states and used to always fly and solve the problem. We were located in one place, but as you rightly told, when we have started this project in Trichy in 2011. That was the first PSK. After the pilot one was in Bangalore and another was in Chandigarh. They have a minister
Correct, correct.
support.
But rollout first PSK was
Uh,
Trichy. Yes.
in both the places, we are the MOS of External Affairs Ministry, both in Bangalore and both in Chandigarh. The pilot was over. So when I went and visited the pilot project, I was so impressed. I went to Bangalore and visited the project. Yeah, so I
Mm,
got an idea. Then it has given a very good impression because our office used to be a very congested place. People were treated like, I would say, like insects. I would say like 2,000 people in queue. We won't know how to do. Security will have a big lathi and all, and you take them. And even after waiting long, they will never know whether they will get their slot, whether they get their passport or not. Even their application won't be submitted because only in the Passport Seva
yeah, yeah,
we decongest crowd online because they give a time slot. But before that, people just randomly they will even 2,000, 3,000 people will come.
yeah.
There was
True,
no
true,
time
true.
slot. There was no mechanism to give a time slot.
There was no
The
appointment system. Correct.
So
Yeah.
the people used to come midnight and be in the first queue, and even to stand in
Mm.
the queue, there will be brokers and for whom you have to pay. And this kind of situation used to be there. So that is the reason why
Mm,
it used to be humiliating experience. People always used to give some money to the broker and all.
mm,
So this is
mm,
the situation. Now but when I saw this super duper PSK with all full AC, with all TCS staff standing and helping this citizen in the pilot project in Bangalore, I was
yeah,
impressed. I thought I should do this. It was great.
yeah,
I thought everybody is
yeah,
going
yeah.
to there will be red
Uh-huh.
carpet welcome for the project.
Yeah,
But
no,
when
in fact, I remember nobody was trying to initiate the go live, no RPO, but then you took that as a challenge. I remember that. Yes.
I thought because I myself was not happy the way our office was running.
Mm.
So when we started there, probably I would have done more homework because that place in Trichy is a place used to be only two offices used to be there, one in Chennai, another at Trichy. They started in 1950s. Only later
Mm.
other
Yeah, yeah.
Coimbatore and passport came recently. So
Correct.
I
Okay.
understood there was a long nexus of the travel agents, brokers, and even our own staffs, which I was not aware at that time. They put all the resistance. They thought it's a loss of their authority, power, money, everything.
Mm.
So, which I was not aware deeply. So, why the staff are in strike? They were finding fault with me. Some travel agent went to court. They filed a court case against the project in Madurai Bench High Court. And
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I remember.
opposition
True, true.
on behalf of the tie, the opposition party was Honorable Chidambaram's madam, Mrs. Nalini Chidambaram was there. So High Court, Madurai
Mm.
High Court gave an order in favor of the agents. They said, how can you involve them? You should also think. Or whether they can accompany, because travel agent said, we will take people and
Yeah, yeah.
submit passport because they don't understand all your internet, all this system and
Uh-huh.
all. Because that was their argument. They want to find some place, travel agent, because there was an historic reason for that. So now managing this thing and fighting and going in the court and telling them no, our citizen will be taken care by the TCS staff only. We have all the systems and all. So I used to run to this Madurai Bench High Court and all. But at the first step, somehow we could win this travel agent association, their court cases we could win. But there are certain agents like specific travel agent like this one person from Tanjore used to always write. He
Yeah,
was
I
like
remember.
very harsh. He went to the very extreme, saying that this is a corrupt project, this that. So the change management was done with my own like intuition and local network. Like I was not, there was no change management team. This is one issue I found. And places like Trichy, where there used to be Sri Lankan Tamils, there used to be camp. They were in demand of some kind of passport, fake passport and all. And the nexus was developed last 10, 15 years.
Mm.
So it is one point of time. I want to be very open. It used to be a hub for fake passport also. Now in that place, you are opening the passport seva, which is very transparent and all. It was an extraordinary challenge. Somehow, in every system, I want to say some good staffs always there. Some 20, 30% staffs are good. Some 20% are fence sitters. So they have helped me a lot. They all with all the good staff and all the good network, local network, we could kickstart the project. One I want to share is I didn't fight back all these travel agents directly. I
Mm.
started doing so many, whatever the mistake they found in the Seva Kendra, I thought how to rectify it. They told one mistake is like how a illiterate man will again make online application. You are pushing them to go to internet cafe and all. So we made this e-sevas within the e-seva when the state government was starting. I requested them to put the passport also along with that. That time also I approached the PMG Postmaster General and we had this first
Mhm.
passport make online application making center.
Mhm.
Such things
Mhm.
we made, and the second point I want to say, now that people cannot make money, once the Passport Seva started, the entire load has gone to the poor and illiterate people. This is the other story I want to make. How you, I was standing in the queue. I used to say, but our security now to identify me because I used to wonder why so many people are again coming to the main office. Though Passport Seva Kendra is going because there used to be escalation, there used to rejection and all. Why
I
rejection?
know.
I understood the pattern is more illiterate people's application are rejected. They
Ah,
can't go to RTI. They don't know why what is happening. They will ultimately go to some broker.
yeah.
Again, the exchange will the previous nexus things will happen. So that I understood. So that's why we started this social audit cell. It is a free RTI.
I remember that point of time you started a social audit. Yes.
Because
Yeah.
this is all the argument of the people in the market. Ki illiterate people they have to stand again. They are
Mhm.
suffering and all. There's some people. So we started this social audit cell where your face is the application. Information cannot be given to the third party. But if you are an applicant, I'm seeing you in the computer, your face. So give all the remarks, file note, quoting the reason, give the hard copy to it, so that वो अगल बगल में कोई पढ़ाई वाले को दिखाएगा कोई किसी को दिखाएगा तो at least people staff is aware that the reason for rejection is now gone to the hands of the applicant. One side, another side, I told staff if any unnecessary rejection happens, all the RTA and court cases, the individual staff has to deal with it. So that order also we have given. So this is slow, though this has given me so much pressure from the staffs, but certain level we could solve this problem and ultimately we could take off the project.
No, great. No, no. In fact, see, that is where probably I also touch upon somewhere saying that the leader in that position, no, in this particular example, let's say you being passport officer of that location where we started the pilot of the Go Live, right? You took some of the call which probably you have never thought before that you have to do this, or you went out of the box, you went to the judiciary, you make them understand saying that the project which you are taking is, it's a complete clean system, right? There is no kind of a hanky-panky involved. You also got engage our employees onto the board, right? Then you yourself become no kind of a review officer going to the field, understanding citizen issues, addressing those problems. So the idea is whenever you are making a change, and change of that magnitude, which touches, as I said, more than 1.4 billion people, the persons or the change makers or the leaders, they should be such that not only they think out of the box, do innovative things to come out of the problems, but also they have to lead the workforce along with them, make them part of those driving force, right? So enabling the ecosystem is very important. That is what I was trying saying, that when you look holistic, holistic is not you and me alone. Holistic is the ecosystem at large. Whether it is your own employee, whether it is the stakeholders, whether it is dependencies. And when you are enabling that ecosystem, you must not forget the core, and the core is the beneficiary. In our case, it is citizen.
Mm,
Keep the core at the center of the focus.
very true.
Keep the citizen at the center of the focus.
Mm.
And then you look around, where are the issue? Why this core is facing problem? Which interface is creating problem? Which workforce is creating problem? Which IT system is creating problem? Which processes are creating problem? Which laws and regulations are creating problem? I think your problem is resolved. That's how one should be.
Excellent. Actually, you know what, Golakji, this is the one of the best advantage with the Passport Seva because in MEA, they don't unnecessarily interfere. They give all the liberty to the RPOs to decide, do certain
Absolutely.
small changes.
Oh,
Otherwise, if
absolutely.
it
And
is a
now,
typically
uh,
hierarchical kind of office bureaucracy,
I,
I have to ask permission from the joint secretary, sir, should I ask social audit, sir, I say court case what should I do? Shall I go? I won't sit in office today. I have to go to the court. Nothing, no
nothing.
joint secretary never
No
interferes
doubt.
anything.
No,
So this
no
is
doubt.
one of a typical advantage for the street
No
level
doubt.
bureaucrat.
No, I
Uh,
can quote and record and say that no, all the leadership, including our honorable EM, the way they have supported, the way they have given free hand, the way they have given all the required support. I mean, that's unparalleled. So again, I am coming back to the same thing. As a ecosystem, it should work,
Excellent, excellent, very true. Probably this may
right?
be the one of the key thought that is missing in maybe other project. This liberty given to the people to do changes, focusing on the citizen, not
Yes.
focusing on the rule, law
No,
on
no,
paper,
no. Yeah.
focusing on the
Those
citizen.
things will anyway come. Once
Yeah,
you improve your core thing, and once you improve the journey of the beneficiary, journey of the citizens, the rest all will fall in place.
wonderful. Make a team, give them liberty to do so, focusing on the citizen and use the technology that it is done. Okay, thanks a lot. I know it is
Let's
too
let
late
it,
for you.
yeah, no, no. I think it was so kind of a passion for me when somebody talks about these transformation because the idea is we have seen this transformation like we discussed the day e-governance journey started in the country.
Hmm.
So our passion is different. We have seen this journey right from conceptualized stage, not only Passport Seva, e-governance at large,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that is why, no, when you talk about these things, people will really know, at least I get emotional saying that, oh yes, something which I thought uh, yielding result and when you see a smile of a remote person or remote villager on their face, maybe directly, indirectly what we are doing, I think that's the biggest achievement, what I feel.
Really true. In that way, no, salutes to you. I'm telling you,
No, thank you.
you have transformed. Everybody used to think, no, the passport office matlab corrupt hai, ye hai. No, that name you have changed.
That name has
Thanks to all the great our
now people
officers,
give
Manikam
another
sir.
way. People give other way example. You should work like passport. That is the example
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
give.
Now you have set up a template. Here I want to recall the good officers, name of officers, Manikam Saab,
Yes,
Muktesh
yes.
Saab,
Yes,
Adhichatpati
Muktesh sir
Saab.
is back to secretary. So as
Yeah,
I
so
said,
the,
all about top management.
all are so positive, like the very liberal. They never behave like I'm a senior, I'm controlling officer and all. Like, and it's extremely, I don't know. It's a Goldilocks theory. It's all went very well. So thanks to you, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We were at one
So,
time doing something, but you are doing it every day and night. I know.
no,
So
no, thank you. Thank
congratulations.
you,
I'm
Balaji.
so
And
proud of
we
you.
will keep interacting. Have a great time there.
Yeah.
And my best wishes to you and your family, all of you.
Same. My regards to
We'll interact more. We'll interact more. Keep
yes.
in touch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
great. We had a
Thank you.
great
Have your
discussion. And
dinner
thank
and
you.
have a nice sleep. I've
No,
taken
no,
lots of
thank
your
you.
time. Let's be in touch also.
Thank you.
Fine. Thank you,
Thank
Golak.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
your time. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.